Hey everybody, how's it going? Dr. Incompetent here, and let's pick up this beginner's guide for casters in Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup with our Ogre Venom Mage here on Dungeon Level 7. Alright, so we did get this incredible plus 12 rapier, and we can use that, but even with a weapon that good, as I've said, you still need to be careful because I'm wearing a robe. Now, what I'm looking for with an ogre to upgrade my armor is dragon scales of some kind. So, I don't think I've encountered or found any of that, but remember, at any point during the game, if you're curious if something has been revealed, you can simply Control F and search. I'm going to search for armor, and remember to spell armor with a U, by the way, O-U-R, for the American English people out there who aren't used to that. That's how the game understands it. And when you search for that, it will show you by default armor that you can equip. Alright? So right now the only things that we found are this +1 animal skin and some robes, okay? So magical robes would be great, but we just have this basic set of robes, and that means we haven't found anything better to wear. Now, another thing I like to do is I can also look through gloves, boots, amulets, even hats, or cloaks to see if we found anything, right? So we can say cloak, no cloaks. Did we find a hat? Well, remember that when you're searching, it'll look for any kind of match of the term. So these are spells or altars. That's not quite it. What about glove? Any gloves? No. Any boots? No. Okay. So we've got all of the stuff that we can get on, but that doesn't mean that we won't find any later. Alright, so here's some... Goodness gracious. Here's that cursed +8 Falcon of Freezing, and here's another white. So that white pack was pretty sizable. I think this is actually the one that we did not fight because we were out of MP. So I'm just going to bring this guy into here, and then at this range I'm going to push capital Z again, cast Mephitic Cloud with C, and I'm going to put it here so that every tile between me and him is covered. I could even put it here just to hit his tile in case he decided not to move. Now you see where he is? He's in a cloud, and that's good. Even the cloud that's adjacent to us is good, but there's a very real probability that he's going to stand on this square and hit us, because if I push X, you can see that he has a +2 spear, and spears are reaching weapons. Polearms can reach, so he can evoke it to hit me 2 tiles away. So he might just... And generally the AI will keep the enemy at range, at max range, and exploit the advantage that the spear gives the user. So I'm going to push escape, and then I'm just going to put... I'm going to push Z and then D, and then just set this on fire. Here comes another white, alright? And indeed, he hit me from afar with his cursed +2 spear. So that's what he's want to do, is to evoke his spear and hit me. So... a tricky thing, not really tricky, but what I can do is just step back 1 square, and he will chase me most likely into this square. Oh, he didn't even make it. He died. Alright. And we did get some MP back from Vehement. Our power is returning, and he's dead. And so we got the experience, and so I'm just going to go down here to use the staircase in case there's an emergency, and I'm pushing S repeatedly just to wait for this dude, and there's indeed another white, but that's fine. These whites are a very, very significant problem for this type of caster build if you don't have Mephitic Cloud and Ignite Poison online. Now, like I have told you guys with this, you want to just get all of the spells from the Beginner's Poisoner handbook, the starting spell book, all of them memorized and all of them castable, but there is a chance that you can encounter whites before you have them reliable, and if that is the case, then I recommend just running away until and trying to skip them and fight them later when you're ready. If I haven't mentioned this before, I apologize, but I might link this actually in the description. I do have a very, very deep playthrough with an Ogre Venom Mage also on this channel, and in that you can see that I encountered a whole bunch of undead early, and it was a problem, but I was able to survive most of it. I went really, really deep with that character. I had a foolish death later, but for the most part, I feel that that's another resource that you can watch if you want to see another Ogre Venom Mage that gets different spells and different equipment pieces. But, you know, this guide also is more explicit. The other video series is also featuring the live stream, so there's a lot of like dialogue, and it's just a different format. Anyway, I'm going to bring this white in here, and once he's this close, I'm going to just Shift Z and cast my Mephitic Cloud here and set it on fire. And I'm going to actually stand here and hit him just so that he doesn't get out of the fire, because I don't want that to happen. And then I'm going to kind of step back and see if this guy, he is going to be smart and not, he's going to wait for the fire to subside. So what I'm going to do is actually back up just a bit, still in an area where he can't escape the clouds. You want to make sure when you're using Mephitic Cloud and Ignite Poison as a method for killing the undead that you're not doing it in some huge chamber where they can just walk around it. You want to try to do it in a hallway where they are forced to walk through it, but you also need to be sure to not put yourself in your own cloud, because of the havoc it will wreak from confusing you. We have 15 MP, which is plenty of MP to cast this. I'm going to push Shift C and Shift Z rather, and then use C to cast this. By the way, based on the order of which you memorize your spells, I'm saying the letter name out loud, but your spells might be in a different order. If you decide to memorize Ignite Poison before Mephitic Cloud, for example, just push the corresponding button to cast Mephitic Cloud. And then now he's in the cloud, he's ruined, and I'm going to ignite it. Now he is going to hit us from afar with his polearm, but we can just wait. Actually, I'm going to step right here, and yeah, just let him go. Alright, so I'm going to rest because I'm close to a stairwell. It's explored enough, I'm safe, and now we have a full MP, and most of the whites are gone. Now, whites wear robes, and sometimes they have magical robes, so I'm just going to quickly search for robes and see if there's any good robes. There are not. But it's always worth checking out to make sure, like, did a white have a good weapon or a good robe if you're a caster? Alright, here's a ring and a +5 Morning Star. Wow, that's really cool. Morning Stars are quite strong if you are going mace. It's the second best base damage on a mace for a one-handed mace that you can get in the game, right behind the old Evening Star. Oh, okay. So, what just happened there is I completely zoned out and pretended I was a melee character, and it's a good example of why you don't want to just walk up, even with a +12 weapon, and try to fight something like a Hippogriff. Hippogriff can hit me easily, he does good damage, so it's another thing where it's very, very nice to have the hit points that you have as an ogre. I'm not going to die. I can kill this guy. I'll show you. I can either Mephitic Cloud and focus it up here, and then that confuses him and poisons him, and then we can just ignite the poison and he's going to die. And we level up. I could also have just Poisonous Vapors him and then kited him away, but again, you gotta be careful and not just think that you're good in melee. Herald is down there. Herald the Weathered. He's a unique, and I do want to fight him, but not right now. I want to make sure I have max HP, and you noticed how he had the question mark. He didn't notice us, so even this bullfrog doesn't notice us. It's one of the advantages of wearing a robe, is that, you know, you can get people unawares, and you can just choose your battles. Sometimes it doesn't work a lot of the time. Undead aren't surprised ever, but Herald was surprised. Now he sees us. He tried to throw a net at us. So I'm going to Poison Vapors him Oop, and we got a kobold who wants to play add-on. Okay. I'm going to Vapors him again, and we've been put in this net, which is sort of a problem, but I'm going to just Vapors Herald a third time. And then now I'm going to actually cast Ogre's Toxic Radiance. There's enough guys on the screen, so I'm going to push Z and then E. Now I'm radiating poison, and you can see everything on the screen is poisoned heavily. And I'm going to then ignite the poison and kill all of it. Everything. Herald is dead. The kobolds are dead. Everything's gone. And I need to get my way out of this net. So what you do is you just try to move out of it. And it says you struggle against the net. You'll get out eventually. I took 3 turns to do that. But you don't really want to be doing that with enemies around you. So I just used a lot of MP fast to kill them. Here comes this worker ant. I'm just going to Vapors him down. All right. So there you can see the real power of this build against enemies that you can poison. Mephitic Cloud Ignite Poison is a great workaround for poison immune enemies like the undead, but if they have no poison resistance, and which many enemies do not, you can just Toxic Radiance the whole screen and then ignite, and you are going to be chuckling at the amount of carnage you can do with that combo. Alright, I'm going to just get this bullfrog with Vapors and then kill him with our rapier. Or, yeah, our rapier. Here's a hornet. Okay, hornet doesn't see me. He's actually asleep, ZZZ. And so while he's asleep, I'm just going to give him poison Vapors a couple of times. 3 times, in fact. Now, he's hit us and he's paralyzed us. That's something annoying that hornets can do. So I just have to wait for that to wear off. It did, and I'm going to ignite poison to kill him so that he doesn't paralyze us again and cause a problem for us. Okay, so here comes the hallway with a lot of enemies that are undead. There's probably a shrine to Yared or some kind of evil god down there. Anyway, mummies are slow, so you can back off, and they won't follow you immediately. And so now I can push Shift Z, and we're going to ignite poison here because we have a buffer, and I'll ignite the poison. Now notice that this mummy was not in a square where he got poisoned. Luckily, you could see, again, the mummy text is in white, meaning that they are not that challenging, so I can actually just fight this mummy with my rapier. If he starts to wail on me, then I run away. Remember, mummies are slow. Okay, and we got him. Now it's time. There's a white coming with an axe. We need to go ahead and get poison, our Mephitic Cloud ready. Now, I have 16 of 23 MP, so I'm still okay. The Wraith and the white have stepped in here. Let's ignite it. And you can see that the Wraith didn't even die. I'm going to wait, and he slowed us. He hit us, and he has slowed us. And he also did some damage, but I'm just going to continue to fight him. He's still in the flames. Now he's not. And so this becomes scary. And so what we need to do is think about, what can we cast here, right? Or do we have a wand that we can use? Nothing that jumps out as being amazing, and I'm slow, right? So if I look at my spells, I could send electricity down this hallway, and I might try that once. So let's just see if we can do any damage with shock. And the nice thing about electricity is you can just, target even this mummy way in the back, and this spell will go through everyone. It did kill the Wraith, which I'm excited about, but now we have a Necrophage adjacent, and we're slow. So it's going to be hard to shake this dude. You can see that he's hitting us even though we're moving because we're slow. So he's made us sick, and you use Potions of Curing to get rid of sickness, alright? But I'm going to wait. What the sickness, part of what it has done is it's rotted us. So we have 80 hit points now out of our max of 81. We've lost one. That's what the number in the parentheses is, our normal max HP, and then the sickness has made us feel ill, and you can see down here in the lower left, you feel your flesh rotting away in red. This is rot. Rot is just like a loss of hit points temporarily. You can drink potions of curing to get those hit points back. Now, I'm going to think about my options here. I could blink away. I'm not going to use my potion of curing because this guy will just hit me again and make me sick. And so it would be a waste. I'd really, really like to not use my potion of curing. And here's what I'm going to do. You can see that what I did was I kind of walked around using the diagonals. And now what I have done is created a space with this so that I can target this tile with my Mephitic Cloud. Shift Z, C, and then I'm going to target here. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll just target. Yeah, this tile is no good because if I try to target this, he's blocking the path of the cloud. So it's going to actually hit him and then hit me. And so I can target here. And then, unfortunately, he didn't get into the cloud. So that's bad. So I need to try to cast it again. So I have to step back because you can't target a square that already has a cloud in it. So I'm going to cast it again and we're going to put it up here. Now he's in the cloud and I can ignite poison. Oops, but it didn't work. I'll try it again. Ignite poison. And I hit him with my rapier to keep him in the square and he's dead. So he's gone. And the mummy is still on us. But remember, the mummy is not really that much of a challenge. So I'm going to actually back off until we get a free square because we're no longer slowed. So we can move away pretty easily. However, you always have to be careful when you're moving around in this game and you're at low health and low MP. I don't know what's up here or what's down here or what's over here. So I could be just walking into more enemies and then I'm going to get trapped and flanked. Mummies on one side blocking my escape and bad guys on the other side. So I think I'm going to actually just try to engage these mummies right here. So what I'm going to do is just push S and wait. Push S and wait. And then I'm going to cast my cloud here. And then I'm going to ignite the poison. Now, I'm going to kill this mummy. Unfortunately, I am almost out of MP, and this mummy is not going to walk in. But what I can do is I'm going to use my Wand of Flame. Wand of Flame is a wand that is best used against electric eels. It absolutely decimates them. It can attack at max range, full line of sight, just like their electricity can, and then it hits them in the water and does steam damage to them. So it's a great thing to save to wreck electric eels. It's also, however, very, very good against a mummy because mummies are made of bandages and they are vulnerable to fire. If I go over them and push V, you can see it says he is susceptible to fire. So he's immune to poison. He doesn't care about that. And cold he can resist, but fire wrecks him. So we can just get a few shots with our Wand of Flame. We have plenty of our Wand of Flame. We have 20 charges of it, so I don't mind at all using them here. And the reason I'm doing this is because I want to kill this guy quickly in case somebody comes from the left and I only have like 4 MP and 37 hit points. That's a bad situation. So I'm actually going to walk over here and I'm going to rest right here. And this is a safe spot to rest because I have mapped out most of this area. All right, now I'm back to full. I am still missing my hit point, but I'm not going to use my potion of curing to get that temporary hit point back because I only have 1 and it's too valuable to waste. I'm going to just kill this skeleton here with my rapier. He didn't notice me. And it's a Kiku shrine. That's what's going on here. So I'm going to open up all of these undead chambers. Okay, and I'm going to use this human zombie because he's so slow and bad. And I was just fighting him with my weapon to save my MP, by the way. I'm going to use him as a shield. And I'm going to cast Mephitic Cloud on him. And he's going to just block us from the Wraith. Now, they did switch places, which is unfortunate, but it put the Wraith in the poison. So I'm going to ignite the poison. I miscast it. I'll try it again. And now they're both in the flames. And I'm going to stand here and hit the Wraith and kill him. And then we have a Necrophage to worry about. And so let's just give the Necrophage Mephitic Cloud and ignite the poison. And I'm going to actually step forward and kill him while he's in the flames. And we did all that. Now you might say, why are you killing them? They're just trapped there. There's no reason. The only reason I am fighting them is for the experience at this point. Just trying to grind some XP to get my skills set. Now let me show you something. I'm very hungry, so I'm going to eat a ration. I'm going to push Z and question mark and look at my spells. My spells are all within a great failure rate. And yet, even though Ignite Poison is 3%, which seems so low, you've seen that I've miscast it twice already this episode. So you really still want to try to get things as low as you can for a reasonable skill cost. So at this point, Poison is fine. It's my primary damage, so I'm still going to level it up. But it is a consideration to turn it off. Now, let me look at my... Shock is now easy for me to cast, and Conjuration is doing nothing else but helping Mephitic Cloud, which is at 2%, which I'm fine with. So I'm actually going to go back to my skills by pushing M, and I'm going to turn off Conjurations and turn on Fighting. Fighting is, I have a +3 aptitude, and I have a 0 level, so it's going to be really easy to raise, and every time I raise it, it's going to raise our hit points, and just give us more of a... level of survivability, of sustain. This Crimson Imp does not have a wand, so I'm okay just fighting him with my rapier and that zombie. Okay, this guy is going to blast us with his bow, so I'm just going to give him a bunch of vapors, and I'm going to sting him, and now he's super poisoned. Let's just ignite the poison and kill him. It's a lot of MP to use on a single target. I don't like to do it, but his bow can do a lot of damage to us, so we need to kill him fast. Certain enemies, if they have high DPS, high damage, you want to just burn them down, if at all possible, as quickly as possible, because your hit points will just disappear. Now, I want you to take a look at something. I have gotten my fighting up to level 0.8, not even one full level. And you can see that I've already gone up to 82 hit points from 80. This is how good fighting is for raising your hit points, especially as an ogre, because you have a bigger hit point pool and you have this huge aptitude. So when you can, start training fighting. I don't like to train it early because your spells are too important. But now that we have a pretty good cast rate with most of our spells, I think it's a great time for us to consider pumping fighting. Alright, so let's just jump down one level. And we just completed Dungeon 8, finished it. Alright, now here's an example of stair dancing. So I come down the steps and there's a Crimson Imp on me. I'm going to try to take him up the steps with us. Sometimes imps will blink away and they won't go up the stairs with you, but in this case he did. And so we've got him, and now we can fight him by himself. And you can see our fighting went up to level 1 and we got another hit point. So the hit points are just flying in, and now I go down the steps, and these adders are going to be right on us. And so I'm just going to Toxic Radiance these guys, and then Ignite Poison. It's extremely gratuitous, but they can poison us, and it's annoying. So, and they were both adjacent, so I just wanted to kill them quickly. Also, we got food from them, so we really lost nothing, because the spell hunger can be covered by the food that they provided. Spell hunger might not seem like a big deal in the beginning of the game because you have rations, they're pretty plentiful, but as you progress, spell hunger is going to become more and more of a deal. Now, if you're playing this in the future and you're in a version later than 0.25, they've removed spell hunger and you don't need to worry about that. But for now and the next several months, probably the rest of this year, you're going to need to worry about spell hunger. So let's look at it again. Shift Z, or just Z to bring up our spell screen, and then question mark to bring up the card, and then exclamation point to switch over to this screen. And for the most part, all of our spells do not make us hungry. We are doing great on their power level. It's just Toxic Radiance. So try to avoid casting Toxic Radiance. Ooh, okay. So, we're getting to a lower level in a dungeon, and we can find some really, really difficult enemies, like a Centaur Warrior, for example. What's hard about the Centaur Warrior is that he does a ton of damage at range, alright? And so, I'm going to try something. I'm going to see if I can reach him with Mephitic Cloud. Oh my god, I tried to, and then I accidentally started moving. Alright. I thought I had pushed Z and then C, and then was using the arrow keys to move around my target for my spell, and really what happened was I just was moving and allowing this guy to rain on me. So we have to immediately bail. So we need to use a Scroll of Blinking. This is the best method of escape that you will get. Alright. And I'm going to blink here. Okay? By blinking to this furthest square, we are no longer in line of sight for the Centaur Warrior. I'm going to step around the corner. You can see the line of sight squares that are visible. These shaded out squares here, no one can see me. If the Centaur Warrior was here, he could see me. And he moves quickly. He's got his horse legs. So we have to try to get to this staircase as quickly as possible so that he doesn't obliterate us. And so we need to move on diagonals. And luckily we were able to make it and go up the stairs. You saw he got a shot at us, by the way. Did you see that? It took time for us to go up the stairs, and while we were going up, he came around the corner and blasted us. That's how painfully slow going up the stairs is, and how fast the Centaur Warrior is. So he shot us, but he missed us. I don't think he could have killed us, but either way, terrifying. All right, now here's what we need to do to beat this guy. We could just not go down this set of stairs, but we have an opportunity to stair dance and see how things go. So I'm gonna look at my scrolls, look at my consumables. I'm gonna step down. All right, so he's got a shot at us and he's far away. Now let me try to push Z again and use Mephitic Cloud, or I'm sorry, he's not. Why is he not susceptible? Maybe he's too far away. Let me just try to cast it and see what's going on. Okay, he's out of range. Yeah, the range on Mephitic Cloud is bad. Once Vehumit gives us a range benefit, we could do this, but he's out of range. So what I'm actually going to do is just use Toxic Radiance once he actually does move closer, and this will give us an opportunity to try and Mephitic Cloud. Now, let me push X and then V. Let me show you something. At the bottom, okay, it says it can hit for up to 16 damage plus its longbow. Alright, so that means it can do its 16 damage plus the base damage of a longbow. And that can kind of give you an idea of how much damage he can hit us for. If you want a more exact idea, something awesome that you can do is join the Discord for the game, and there is a bot that's always in Discord, and you can search for using key commands like question mark, and then Centaur Warrior, and it will give you information about the Centaur Warrior that's more robust than what's actually built into the game client, and it can tell you how much damage you're going to take. You can also ask people in Discord, or you can go on the wiki, although the wiki's not always up to date, and get more detailed information so you can make a decision like, oh my god, can he one-shot me? Because if he can one-shot you, it's time to go up the stairs now and pray. But in this case, he cannot, so I'm going to push capital Z and try and Mephitic Cloud here. Okay, he's in the cloud, but it's not confusing him, but he has 2 stacks of poison on him, and he's in the cloud. And so I'm going to actually, because he missed me, I can do this. I'm going to use Toxic Radiance one more time. And now he's confused. Okay, you see the question mark? He did finally get confused. He breathed in the vapors. And now what I'm going to do is ignite the poison in him and kill him and the ogre. Okay? So that's a very, very dangerous fight. That was a red enemy, but because he was not immune to poison, not resistant to poison, I could use our most powerful spells to get him down, and we wrecked him. And that's amazing. I'm going to go up the stairs and rest because I was low on health and low on MP. And yes, 2/3 health is low in this game. I actually don't move until I have my auto explore set to not go until I'm at full health. I might do a separate video for you guys about how to adjust the game's RC file, which is kind of like the config file for the game when you're playing online, to change some of the features and quality of life and parameters of the game so that you can do things like auto butcher, not auto explore until you're at full health, not auto battle once your health is past a certain point, things like that. Anyway, okay, now we're back to full, and we just took out a really, really difficult enemy, and I'm feeling pretty good about that, feeling pretty strong. I hate the fact that we only have a 3 armor class and our evade is bad. We haven't found any kind of good armor to wear. It's a shame, but that's ogre for you. Ogres can't wear certain things of armor because they're so big. They can't wear gloves. They can't wear boots. Yeah, I don't know why I was searching for them before. They can't because their hands and feet are too big. They can wear a cloak. They can have a shield. They can wear hats, not helmets. And they can wear amulets. And they can wear robes, animal hides, and then I believe they can wear troll hide armor and dragon scales for sure. And so those are the things you're looking for to try to give yourself a little bit of a barrier. Luckily, ogres have huge hit points to also act as a barrier, and they have tough skin, which you can see here by pushing Shift A, which gives them like a little bit of a boost to their armor class. All right, everybody, I think this is a great place to stop the episode just after fighting all those undead, fighting some really tough enemies, showcasing the ability to toxic radiance and ignite poison against named elites or red level enemies that can wreck you, and how fast that damage actually does stack up. Normally, waiting for a poison dot to wear down can be agonizingly slow once you're fighting harder enemies, but if you ignite that poison, especially if they have more than one stack, and hopefully are standing in a cloud of poison, boom, they're instantly dead most of the time. Provided they're, you know, not immune to poison or resistant or something like that. Otherwise, this is how you kill things. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys found this educational, and I'm enjoying just kind of playing this character. I think I might just go further with this series just because I'm personally having fun, and I hope that you're learning too. The deeper I go, the more I can teach you about tougher challenges that the game presents with this build, and show more content, show more of my decision making, which, by the way, is not perfect. So if you have any questions for me, please leave them in the comments, and if you have any suggestions or advice for things you would have done differently, I'd love to read that too. I'm always looking to get better myself as a dungeon crawl player. I've been playing, like I said, for almost 10 years, and yet still the game is so rich, so deep, so complex that I'm always trying to improve, and I'd love to hear from you about it. So I hope you guys have an excellent evening or day, and I'll check you in the next video. Take care.